across the damn bit.
And I mean, we need
like
orbits.
2 is a
15
good
feet
fucking
behind
game,
them.
and if you're saying it's not a good game because you don't like Abby, you could fucking suck my ass.
Oh my god!
Stop. There we go.
Oh my god! What in the world?
We had to find one.
We found the bit.
Yeah, something was helping. Welcome. Uh-oh. Is my internet a little choppy?
I don't know.
Zoom always starts off a little funky. It's been acting weird lately, so if we glitch a little bit, my apologies. Thank you. Welcome everyone to TTRP Theater for our Friday night game of KULT Divinity Lost. To our wonderful cultists out there who love to join us every Friday night, thank you for returning. And if you're new, welcome. I am joined tonight by these wonderful cultists of mine whose characters are currently going through the arduous journey to unlock all of their true divinity. I'll mention a little bit of each one, and they'll get to say hi at the end of the stream. Clutch, a drifter in and out of lives over the years and a veteran of many adventures, seems to find the dark parts long past resurfacing at a drastic and terrible pace. Liam has almost lost a leg and is starting to get the sneaking suspicion that that's not all that could be lost in this place. Monet discovers more and more reasons to get her necklace back from the pinstriped man at the top of the tower when she was all but ready just to let that headache go. Ben is started to feel twisted into some very uncomfortable positions, but his interest in Liam's wife Monet is seeming to rear its ugly head once again, and Morgan, ever the protector, has just landed in Novaville. And while he may be impressed with its lethality, the growing concern that his days in the jungle aren't over looms above the clouds. So let's find out what happens as they step out of the Nova Mall and continue their long, strange trip.
Cat D. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance.
Dance.
And I dance.
We've lost her.
And
Gone.
And she's gone.
Truly beautiful.
Kitty cat. Oh, what a sweet boy.
There goes Ben.
I'm just
Off.
trying to eat my noodles.
Off on a giggle. I know how it is. Welcome back, everybody, to the long, strange trip. We're going to get things going. Poor Monet is not feeling quite well at the moment in real life as well as in the game. So,
Yeehaw! Let the spooks begin.
yeah, good. I'm glad you said that because my meter wasn't going for you guys, and I was kind of worried there for just a moment. A panic of
We
sound.
were
because we
actually
weren't-
quiet
we were
for a while.
actually
I
not
know.
Yeah.
yelling at you.
I had to make sure everything was right. All right. You have all just stepped out of the Nova Mall into a cold and damp night. Very unseasonable for summer in Los Angeles. Obviously, still in this urban wilderness known as Novaville. Out of this exit on this side of the Nova Mall, it opens to a wooded park. Well, most of the ground level plant life has died off, as if the entire area has been flooded with herbicide, but you can see from the dead trees and grass that it once would have been a very lovely park. The trees are dead and leafless. None of the plant life seems to fare well here. Up through the dead trees, across this quarter-mile long park of nothingness, stretching lengthways uphill, you see the massive Monarch luxury apartment complex. It's a ways up the hill, but you can see it clearly as there's no real shrubs or bushes that have overgrown to block your view. You can make out in front of the building, way out there in the distance at the top of the hill, in the courtyard in front of the building, is the light and flickering of what appears to be a giant bonfire. They are very small from this distance, but it looks as if a mass of people are encircling that said fire. You can tell that some of them are probably dancing around. There's quite a bit of movement going on. You'll get a better look as you get closer. The reasons to get to the top have grown for each of you a little bit since you've arrived in Novaville, and for some reason it just seems to pile on every day. You can hear the singing. You know now that's probably coming from the same group of people, and as everybody steps out in that silence as the rain lets up just a little bit, you can hear floating down into the hollow where you are at the bottom of the hill, sort of echoing off of the wall of the Nova Mall. With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now. Entertain us. Over and over. What do you do?
That's pretty catchy.
Christ,
Is that
that
a song or
song's like
something?
It's Nirvana, guys.
that song's like a fucking decade old.
Oh shit. Oh,
Sounds like Teen Spirit
Just
to me.
starts staring at Morgan, and then looks at Ben and looks back at Morgan. What the fuck?
Yeah, Ben, it doesn't register on his face. He's like,
Nirvana.
Oh,
Hey, it's a fucking
like
Buddhist
someone's trying
thing.
to
Just
sell
take
me
that.
something.
Take that. It's fine.
Nirvana. It's okay.
you're-
So we should probably not walk through that fucking shite, right?
I'd prefer not.
That sounds like a good
Yeah.
idea to avoid the creepy people singing in the forest.
yeah, I'm cool with that.
they seem
Yeah.
like okay people.
It's a bit far away to be able to actually assess an alternate route at this point. You'll have to get a little bit closer at the top of the hill, and you'll be able to find, you can see. The Monarch from this distance appears much wider than you thought it was, at least at its base. It's starting to look much more and more of a massive building as you get a little bit closer to it. But you can see clearly it's not that steep of an incline. It's just a nice little walk up a hill in a park. There's actually an old, cracked, and broken sidewalk that trails up through the center of it, directly towards the Monarch apartment. Did everybody roll their pre-game rolls?
Yup.
Nice.
Austin, did you? I know you also have a Sixth Sense roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do too. So just keep
You're
that in
muted
mind.
if you're trying to say things.
Is he trying to say?
I
things or is
speak
he
Austin, and I read his lips. He said, "Do I?" I said, "Yeah."
What was that one?
It's in the. That's what the little reference
Wait,
sheet is
there are
good for.
buttons I have to press?
Is it Soul?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe
Okay.
so.
you did great, sweetie.
Nice.
Hey, Curtis, meta.
Yes.
I took an advantage,
Outstanding.
and it is. Do you want to know what it is? I put it in the
yes,
thing.
I do. Tell me.
Okay.
Unless
It's
you just
forbidden
don't want to share.
inspiration.
Forbidden inspiration.
No.
I like it.
Yes.
You're about to max out on the artist stuff. Nobody will be able to watch you
know.
work.
Nobody.
So I assume you guys are going to stroll up the hill towards the Monarch, right?
I guess we have to.
If there's no alternative course of action.
I know that you're all very scared, and I appreciate that.
Circumvent like entirely, just walk in a very wide berth around. Doesn't seem
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Right, let's walk into
I
this trap, folks.
It'll be yeah, you could do it. The way that the Nova Mall snakes around, it completely covers this giant park on three sides, open as it bends back around then to the other direction at the other end, with the Monarch. Quite a sight if it was all in good repair and on a lovely day. Not so much on this particular night. You get about a couple hundred yards up the hill as you take the side, trying to stay within the more dense area of trees for some protection, I would assume. Clutch, I want you to roll +0 for your new disadvantage, as that burning sensation that you had been feeling in your body that kind of then started to settle into your veins, your blood feels like it is beginning to be on fire right now.
Horrible.
And no, that's not. It's
better than a 9. So.
It is pretty good. However,
It's not great for us.
everybody sees Clutch kind of just stop and drop to her knees. And Clutch, when you pull back your sleeves, if you've got any on, I imagine you've probably pulled them down. It's cold and rainy, and I'm sure none of you really have jackets on, as you've all been living in LA for a while. Your veins have tattoos that start appearing where they run, and the tattoos is actually these little wisps of flame that seem to be coursing through your blood, represented, however, on your skin. It's almost like it's an animated situation at first, where you see these fires and the burning intensifies, and only until the tattoos set in does it start to stop. And you can see all of the major veins that run down your forearm. You can trace them up your arm to the rest of your body. You can only assume what you might appear like with your clothes off in the mirror. And they're all very small, in different varying widths, not a constant flame, very unique, little, as if you've got fire flowing through your veins. Everyone sees Clutch get down to her knees and at some point starts to like scream as if she's like somebody's hurting her. And you see her look at her arms. You guys can also see the exact same thing as these tattoos flare up and light up on her arms and then move and then suddenly stop and cool down. And now she is marked.
Christ, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've been helping Liam walk, but at this, I'll, steady him and run and go over to Clutch's side and crouch down with her.
She just starts, rubbing at her arms, hoping it'll come off. And then she's clutching her head and, looking at you, Monet, and just going, can you see this? Can you see this? Can
I can see it.
This?
I can see it. Holy shit! What is this?
Am I losing my shit? Am I actually?
Oh, you're all right. You're all right. Hey, look at me. Everything's all right. Oh yeah. It isn't the weirdest thing that's happened to us. Say, some crazy lady over there just tried to eat my husband's leg.
I don't.
We see the stuff with her veins, right?
Yeah, Clutch, you actually, the emotion that starts to come up almost uncontrollably at this moment now is anger. And as Monet looks in your eyes, she sees just one little flash of yellow flame appear in the centers of your pupils. And at this moment, and it lasts for about 10 seconds or so, you almost want to just rip Monet's head off just because you need to rip somebody's head off. And then that emotion starts to fade. So
she
don't
has
ever
that
roll a 9.
Yeah, no shit. That little flicker goes across her face, and she immediately steps away from you as if she's been burned. And she's just the worst, horrific, twisted look on her face is there for, like Curtis said, 10 seconds. And she is now standing probably 6 feet away from you and just shaking.
For social distancing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, shocked, still crouched on the ground and confused by that reaction. I slowly stand up, just shaking my head and holding a hand out as if approaching a dangerous animal almost. You need to sit down or something? Do you need to take a break?
I don't know. I mean, I normally take my meds, but I really don't think that this has anything to do with medicine or any of that other shit. I think I've actually finally lost my mind.
Hey, I know for a fact you haven't, since I'm seeing this shit too.
She just looks at Morgan and raises her hands in the air, and she's just making this are you fucking kidding me face. You're not even from this time period, dude.
You know, I'm surprisingly chill about that. You're right. I've seen weirder shit though.
I think
we're from the past.
Did anyone else see the talking ferret on Benji over there?
Oh fuck.
Oh,
You've
yeah,
got tattoos. I'm missing me pendants. My husband's over here. He's down a lake. I think that we're having quite a hard time. But I know we've got to get up to those apartments and stop waking about over here now.
I don't.
Why does everyone keep saying the ferret's fucking talking?
He does, man.
Wait, did we not hear the ferret?
No,
talk?
none of us heard the ferret.
Oh, Benji claims the ferret
fucking
talks.
Definitely talks.
Benji's also a fucking waste of space drug
But where the
addict.
hell did the ferret come from in the first place?
I don't
Drug
think you're.
addict.
I
Addict.
assume from 1972.
Is a little.
He never had a ferret in 1972 when we were.
Ferrets
Taking
fucking
drugs across
existed in
the-
1972, my love.
Myth gave it to me in the red light district.
Boy, but he never had the ferret when we knew him in 1972.
We don't
my
fucking
dear.
know that. He could have been keeping it in his back
You
fucking
think he
pocket
was
the whole
having a
time.
ferret in his back fucking pockets the whole time we were cartelling
You don't know
drugs all the
that.
same
Yeah, you
place?
Do I have
fucking
paint
coulda.
in my
What the fuck are
backpack?
you on about?
There is a voice that calls out, and at the same time you hear this voice, lightning strikes ahead above in the clouds, and in the light that you get from that as it sort of flashes and lights up this park a little bit, you see that the voice of the person that calls out to you looks like he's wearing a badge, and he raises his hand as he speaks. Aye, you folks all right tonight?
Yeah, we're doing
Shit,
just fine.
it's
Officer.
buzz.
We're really
We're
not
not
gonna
making a lot
We're
of
in
rackets.
fucking Novaville. Of course, we're not fucking all right.
Oh, it was just a little disagreement between our friends who are married over here. One of them, keeps forgetting to clean the spoons after, like washing them. It's a real disagreement in their family, and it's kind of tearing them apart. So
When you're
No.
married, it's
if
always
you
the little
could
things.
give us some privacy, we would really appreciate trying to keep this at a calm level.
That sounds like a real problem. And he pulls a riot shotgun out from behind his back and says, "We take law and order very seriously in Novaville. I wouldn't want any domestic spats going on out here."
Oh no, that's
No,
why I said it was a
we're fine.
disagreement,
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're gonna keep it out. It's
not a
perfectly.
spat.
Could you put that away, please?
That
Yeah.
seems like a
Explode.
inordinate response, sir.
Aye. Novaville's got a lot of people that sometimes need that kind of response. I've got
I'm
to
gonna
keep
take
my
Those
eyes out.
fucking weirdos singing up there?
I've got a
Go
question.
bust that shit up.
Why do you think I'm out here, sir? Let me ask you something. Are these women that you have with you?
And
He's
Liam's hand
looking
instinctively
At Clutch
goes
and
to
Monet.
his gun.
Clutch
Monet's
looks
giving
at
him a
Monet.
face. It's like, what the fuck are you saying?
I'm
Clutch
sorry.
is
What was
looking at
Ben's
Monet like,
about
what did he
to-
just say?
Fucking bolt.
Oh, this guy's a real winner. I like his sideburns.
Gil Bronson.
Gil.
Gil Bronson.
He looks like a real piece of shit.
What's that? What's
What
that
are you
thing
asking,
that
officer?
our Gil always said? Oh, I can't even think.
In
of it.
regards to that,
In regards to that domestic dispute,
Because you have to wash the spoons after you wash the spoons.
yeah, that was great talking, Morgan.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of you talking your way out of this.
Nope, you're doing
this
great, sweetie.
Shotgun
You're doing great.
top here.
I was going
Double
to
wash the
destroy-
spoons.
After you wash the spoon.
I can take it that you're all not from Novaville.
No, we're visiting. Thank you.
Morgan,
For
maybe you
noticing.
should stop talking.
How long
Visit
have you
me
been here?
Oh, we just
Too
got here.
fucking
It's
long.
fine.
We're
Visiting.
actually on our way out. If you could,
Boy, we have an apartment up in Monarch. We're just
Huh.
What?
Well, you've done well to survive so far, you know?
What?
If you want whatever it is you're seeking, I can tell you've all got something that you need up there. Necklace, perhaps? I heard somebody talking about it. Getting to the top will That's going to require some sacrifice, probably more than you're prepared to give. If you'd like, I can put you out of your misery right here and now. And he racks his shotgun.
No.
No.
Likewise, you
Great
fucking
big
cunt.
favor.
Don't want to be here.
No, we're fine. We're super fine, thanks.
It
I
would
think
be a favor, I promise you that.
Well, I'm
No,
about
we
to do
gotta
you a
run.
fucking
We gotta
favor. Get the
fucking run.
fuck
We gotta
out of
run.
here.
We gotta get out of here.
Calm
We gotta get
down,
out of here
sir.
right now.
Calm down. I can tell that you're a good man.
did you just use the word? You know
Benjamin,
that's
what
great.
did you
He's
say?
a great man.
That we just gotta get out of here. I'm just freaking out. Cops freak me out, man.
Uh-oh. Benjamin, you need to keep it together.
Get out of here.
Got him.
Keeping it together. What I get.
Nice. You're holding it
Okay.
together
Keeping it together.
with no problem.
I'll just like squeeze Clutch's wrist or something. Like I'll just hold on to her.
Who's the gun pointed at?
And Liam, I want you to influence Officer Gill.
Oh shit!
I think I fucking did.
I think he's ready to take his clothes
Listen.
off for you, sir.
Hey.
And all of you be very careful out there in Novaville tonight. It's been kind of rainy and cold. Good sir, I hope you're going to keep an eye on these ladies. And he says the word ladies as if he was talking about tofu pudding or something like of extreme
Ew.
disgust. And he sets the shotgun over his shoulder and turns and starts to walk towards the mall.
And Liam turns to Monet. He's like, "Can I fucking shoot him? I just want to. I'm gonna fucking put one."
Oh,
right in the
that's
back
your
of his fucking head."
prerogative,
I
but
could use his shotgun.
Do not. Don't.
No,
Don't.
no.
Don't.
I'll consider this. Can just
I could
Honey,
run
if
up
you
and
want
snap
to-
his neck.
okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
No.
If anyone's deciding to kill anybody, it'll probably be Liam. But we also need to consider that we haven't had the best of luck trying to kill people like this recently. Who knows if he's some kind of weird creature that'll just come and haunt us later?
I agree with Monet. I think she's not lost her shit. And I think she's very, very, very right.
I mean, I'm a fan of murder as the best of them, but I just think we need to pace ourselves a little bit. We haven't even got to the building yet. We got to get to the top of it.
Sorry, when I get put in a cage, I just want to kill things.
What cage do you see? We're in a field. Calm down.
So
He
this
was
dude
out
gone.
of the cage by the
Is the
time
cop
you
gone?
joined us, wasn't he? That's true.
Is Ben like hiding behind Clutch?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's full on like Shaggy behind you, like Zoink Scoob.
She just like reaches behind and pats your head. All right.
Wait, but that's my 2 cents. What do you say, Liam? Do we take him out or do we let him go?
It's a fucking waste of time and ammunition. Let's keep moving.
Here we are now, entertain us.
They're really ruining that fucking song.
You climb up the hill.
I actually
and
fucking really liked Kurt Cobain too. I met him.
the scope of everything just magnifies more and more as you get to the top, and you realize that when you get to the edge of the hill as you're about to crest over, you are still probably 300 yards away from the bonfire, and probably another 200 yards beyond the bonfire across this giant, previously very well landscaped courtyard is the giant Monarch apartment complex. You see it clearly for the first time at this point. Lights dot this 30-story high building, which doesn't seem that tall. That's only, what, half as tall as Trump Tower. But the base of it is probably 10 times as wide. So take that, Trump. Girth as well.
Are there any like cars around? Anything?
The
that
only
we could
cars that
use.
you've spotted, you do see some in this circle drive that actually cuts around the courtyard and divides the building from this courtyard. There are some cars that are overturned, rusted out, empty husks. There's actually one that is ablaze off in the distance as well. There's probably 200 or 300 people all gathered in this courtyard. None of them seem to be paying any attention. It's like walking into the massive dance pit at Burning Man. You're looking at this massive building. It takes you some time to it seems to lean precariously towards you. It takes you a little bit to realize this, that the building curves forward almost like a bent finger. It doesn't go exactly straight up. It's kind of like, it's hard to do on camera, but not extreme, but it's got a lean to it. It resembles the brutalist architecture of the 1970s, more than anything modernist. At one point, this complex might have even been an innovative building. Now it is as ruined from your perspective as any other part of this district, though it's difficult to ascertain the full damage of the building on one so tall. Just staring at it gives you vertigo, and each of you struggle to keep your footing for a moment. It's as if the buildings surrounding the monarch even contort and writhe, and the savages on the street flit in and out of view as if existing one moment and then not the next. Once that feeling starts to pass, and you guys can take a moment to suck all that in before I describe the people until you're ready for that part.
Oy, this place give me a fucking headache.
I feel like I would enjoy this place a lot more if I had some LSD or cocaine.
Roll drug addict because Benjamin has
Yeah.
drugs.
I was just about to say, Benjamin pulls out a joint.
I
Also
Out
roll
of
drug
nowhere.
addict, correct?
Yes.
Which is just +0.
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna use coolness, which is a +0.
That's the I have to look at the quick reference.
I got a 12.
Ooh, I got
Oh.
an 8.
God.
Yeah, I'm doing some drugs.
Let's do some drugs.
Great.
So you got a joint?
Yeah, it's just a roll plus
Yeah.
0.
Yeah.
What did you
Wanna-
roll, Benjamin?
I got a 12.
A 12. Cool. Then I get a hold out of it. Morgan rolled an 8. Nice. Thank you very much. Morgan and Benjamin, in this suddenly feeling like shit as they look out across all of this and seeing the scope of this madness, both just sort of plop down on their butts. Benjamin reaches into his pack, pulls out a joint that Lenny had already pre-rolled for him because he's just kind of that sort of ferret.
I
That's
love him.
awesome.
Dude,
I
Lenny's a
taught my
bro.
ferret how to roll a joint.
That's so
Oh, please.
cool.
Lenny already knew.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's been
And-
rolling joints for decades.
And they just sit down and spark up as you're all just about to get over this feeling and start to
Christ,
Playing
what the
something.
fuck are you doing? We don't have fucking time for this.
You know, it
You
just
need to
felt
make
right.
some time, man.
It felt right.
Well, they're having a bit of a smoke. Liam, can I speak with you for a second? And she kind of like tugs on Liam's arm a little bit.
But yeah, course, my love.
It's cool. I'll just babysit the children.
Well,
Oh,
somebody
you're
better
good,
fucking
you're
better do
good.
it.
We can't.
just
Fuck. It's not our fucking jobs.
Is this Purple Kush band? I think I remember this.
Yeah, I think it is, man. It's solid.
It's steamrolling my ass, bro.
And then the camera
It's-
focuses in on
really
Monet and Liam.
Curtis, I have a question
What?
before you go to Monet and
I
Liam.
need my hook, you guys. For the love of God.
We all do, dude.
Is there still paint in Ben's backpack or no?
Yes.
There is.
Yep.
Great. Are we by some trees?
There's lots of dead trees around. Yeah. It's kind of like
Fantastic.
Central Park, if you can imagine, except everything's dead.
Cool. Well, I'll go
There's-
flop my butt by a dead tree.
Okay. Monet and Liam, the stage is yours.
Right. What feeling do you have on this building here?
Oh, it's the fucking worst. I don't
Oh,
want
you
to fucking
like
go
it.
in there.
I feel we have to, though.
Well, I'm getting that fucking sense.
Listen, what the officer said back there is it's about me necklace, me pendant from me ma.
Right?
I had it again, and it's this strange thing where I keep getting it and I keep losing it. And for a moment, I thought, "Fuck that!" You know, it's a curse or something. But I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what it is, and I finally got it again, and I finally thought I'd have some answers on what it is and what it was meant for. What? Fuck, I don't know. Supernatural shit it was involved in. I was finally starting to get something, and then this man in this. We can only describe it as a pinstriped suit came, and he took it from me. And I can't stop thinking about it. I try to think about the people singing and the things we've gone through, and it's crazy that time travel or something has happened, but for some reason I can't get the pendant out of my mind. And he said he's at the top of that tower there, and I'm not sure if it's a bad feeling or a good feeling, but it's some sort of a feeling. Does it make sense?
My love. It's definitely a bad feeling. Listen, you were out of it. But when we found Benji, he was saying something about needing to the fucking wastoid, fucking steal drugs from some man in a fucking suit.
Of course. Pinstripe, I'm guessing.
I highly doubt he got a fucking specific description. But everything seems to be leading us to the top of this fucking tower. And it doesn't seem like we've got much of a choice in it.
How are you feeling?
Cool, not fucking good, I'll tell you that.
We know that, but as much as I want to get the pendant, I want to make sure that you're up to it.
Darling, I'd slaughter half this fucking country if it meant doing something for you. You know that.
We do. And she'll lean up on her tiptoes and give him a gentle kiss right in front of everyone. She doesn't care.
The good feeling is broken.
Listen.
Oh, what, Liam?
No, it's fine if I get cut off.
Oh, well, if you had something important
They're
to
just
say,
gonna make out.
usually listen is prelude to something important.
But
The-
that's also a great point for things to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, that was too mushy. Please ruin it.
I am. Exactly. That's why I wanted to step all over that. The gathering of the denizens, it starts to become a little overwhelming. For some reason, their chanting seems to be at a very long, slow crescendo that not only was getting louder because you were getting closer, but they are also very gradually, almost undiscernible, except now that you've sat here still for a few minutes this close, you can sense that they're getting louder, maybe even at a little bit of a quicker pace. They're all clad in different colors of ragged materials that they've scavenged from God knows what. Curtains, upholstery. They have incense burning in candles. Some of them are carrying candles. Some of them you can see them waving these sticks, these red sticks of incense in the light. Some of the group members walk in a circle and howl intermittently as they jerk and twitch violently, still chanting, "Here we are now, entertain us." You see on the ground in this area, just in front of the fire, what looks at first like this kind of large, formless lump of clay starts to grow. The chanting gets a little bit louder, and that blob of clay starts to writhe a little bit.
So, am I just stoned?
Am I just nuts?
A little
Or
bit
is
of
that
both.
clay?
As you, both the mad and the stoned, look at it, you can see eyes, plural, and lips opening all along the length of its tall, broad body, short phalluses dangling from many toothless mouths before being slurped up and replaced with fingers attempting to pry from each of the suckering orifices that cover its body. All of you can almost feel it start to call to you. And I want you all to roll. Keep it together.
Well,
Oh no.
I
Oh,
don't like that.
hold on. I got bad stuff. I gotta fix that first.
got a 13.
I have a whole process to go through and I just lost my window. Hold on.
It's all right.
Because I'm
Meta.
crazy. I'm losing my shit.
Liam, what's your stability at, by the way?
What?
Quick question.
Whose stability?
What was
Liam's?
Liam's stability at?
I am currently unfocused.
You're unfocused. Okay. I want to backtrack a little bit from our nice moment and give you +2 stability back because I have a point for you on one of my advantages.
Your touching moment can do that for
Yeah.
sure.
And then
Well,
sorry,
then
we'll go
I
back.
am composed as fuck.
That's it.
I also did a roll before all this crazy shit just happened.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. Yes, I saw you do that. I was going to ask you what that was.
Yes, that was for my...
Because it was terrible. What was it?
It was, I know, and I literally facepalmed when I
God.
rolled for it.
It was like,
It
oh yeah, a
was-
7.
It was my artistic talent. I tried to roll one of my advantages.
You're too
Awesome.
stoned for that.
So what I did was, and it says I can choose an option.
Mm-hmm.
So I plopped down by this dead tree and I painted some flowers and some bullshit on this like dead tree trunk. And I wanted it to affect Morgan and Clutch.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted it to bring them joy and hopefully help their stabilities.
Oh, that would have been so nice of you.
Since you get one option, I will let you do that. They can each take an extra 1. Because you did roll a
Can
7,
I-
and there will be a cost to that.
Can I also take a stability? Does it affect me too?
You can take one. Only because this creature
I am now.
is going to do everything it can to rob you of these.
Like, ooh, crazy horrible creature. Wait, let's backtrack.
Yeah.
Wait.
This is
Now
not
that
the old.
everybody's ready to take the pain, you can feel it calling to you. You can actually, it almost starts to give you a bit of a headache. Clutch, your blood starts to get warm. Liam, to you it sounds like the screaming victims of a bombing. A witch's voice calls to Monet. Monet's voice calls to Ben. Clutch's mother cries for her, and Morgan, your brother, cries out that he is lost in some hell of alleys, and it is torture and pain and is driving him mad. But the madness is the only relief he can find. Each of you hear different whispers. Come to me. I will make you feel so much better. Come to me. Liam, you owe us. Make us whole again. Come to us. Who
Is
rolled
anyone
below
else
a 9?
hearing voices?
Or keep it together.
Yeah.
Not me.
Below
So-
9?
Rolled
Like-
11.
I don't think anybody rolled below.
I rolled a 19, and I just want to tell those children to fuck off.
It
Yeah, I
is-
rolled a 16 as
It
well.
was easy
Doing
for you
great.
to ignore. Monet rolled an 11. Anybody else roll below a 15? Clutch?
13.
Yeah.
And a 13. When you guys look at this creature and the voices are more intense for you and are weighing on your psyche, it's almost as if you can feel it somehow climbing up through your spinal cord. All of the eyes on this creature are looking into your eyes. They look like the eyes of the people that you hear in your head. What do you do?
Is anyone
Clutch
else hearing voices?
Clutch is just rubbing at her arms because she can feel that burn again, and now she kind of has a tick for where it's coming from, and hot tears just start running down her face. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening.
Of course you do.
What?
Of course you know. Come to me. You know the madness will save you.
No, no. I'm not gonna go out like my mother. I am not gonna do that. I mean, I can hear her, but I'm not her because I take my meds and I keep track of things and she's just like going on a loop. It just keeps going and she's rambling.
Make me a roll +0. Monet, how is this affecting you?
She's kind of frozen at the moment. Just like she hasn't really said anything or moved. She's just staring at it.
Actually, I have to roll you a plus or a -0
Because
or
like
-2.
this witch is something that has haunted her and that she wants to get to the bottom of, but she also wants to run away from. So
It gets even more interesting because she says, go get the necklace. Bring me the necklace. It'll fix everything. Is a 9 your roll on that one, Clutch?
I wish it weren't, but it is.
Excellent. I'll get back to you. Morgan, you hear the voice of your brother. You can't really make sense of what he's talking about. However, you haven't been able to make sense of any of this stuff, really. This is new to you. You've got experience in some other different dream worlds that are a bit more fantastical that you've had to go in. And you've always been able to hold your own, as it were. This seems a bit more drastic than some of the, and you've seen plenty of horrors, but you have also noticed the increase as well. How are you handling this?
Morgan is just calling out, saying that he'll find Jerry. He'll find and save Jerry.
Everything feels as if that
Jerry.
my God.
hashtag save Jerry. Everything feels as if you were to go join the throng and encircle this mass that seems to continue to grow as it stares at Clutch, thinking about how it's going to fix her, make everything better. It's just waiting until it gets a little bit bigger as these cultists around it begin to shake and writhe more violently and get louder. You can see some of them turn and look. They see you. Two of them stare at Clutch. And they start to approach. Oh, but then someone in the crowd stops them, puts a hand on their shoulder, and they all look at Clutch and turn back to the circle as if, no, she's going to do important things here. Let's not interfere with her. Here we are now. Entertain us. What do you do?
She kind of sits down on her ass really hard and she's just flipped the fuck out. And she's crying. She is just like shaking on the ground. She can't even form words. She's just holding her head and crying and shaking and can't break eye contact.
What do the rest of you do?
For the love of Christ, get your heads in the fucking game.
Yeah,
And
think
I
we've
would
worn
like
out
to
our
roll-
welcome.
I would like to roll
Okay, 19.
forked tongue
Yes.
on the whole group.
Interesting. Sweet. Go ahead and make a roll plus charisma. A 15.
Oh.
You get to choose an option.
Obviously, it's going to be they trust me.
And you all do. He sounds sort of peeved in his weird old Irish fixer way, usually having control, but you can all actually take a +1 relationship score with Liam. 4 being the max.
I like Ike.
You do, and he does inspire you, and with that inspiration, it feels as though if you leave this crowd of people alone and don't go mess with the big blob, assuming Clutch doesn't get completely engulfed in its spell, you might be able to just circumvent the whole throng and make your way straight to the front door with very little effort. You might be able to even walk right through the crowd as if you were at a concert. It's possible, perhaps, but right now, Clutch is feeling as if, you know what? I could just end all of this and make it all better for everybody if I would just go give that beautiful lump of whatever a big, wet, liquory kiss and hug. And let it devour my pain and take it all away. And you see her start to get up.
So seeing that
Yeah, go ahead.
seeing that Clutch is clearly the most affected by whatever the hell is going on,
Yes.
and having just said that to the lot of them, and she starts to get up, Liam walks over to her and tries to break her gaze, but just lightly grabs onto her shoulders. And while trying to break her gaze, just does the head thing to, hey, look, I'm the captain now. No. No, that's not what he actually says. But that's what he does.
That, but in an Irish accent.
Bless him, Adair. I need you here with us. We need you far too much for you to be breaking down. But I know that it's not easy for you, so I need you to trust me. I know that you do, but I need you to trust me even more than you ever have at any time.
I don't think you get it. I don't think any of you get it. And she's starting to sound a little pissed that you're in her road. You don't fucking understand anything about me. You just know me, but you don't know me.
I know entirely too much about you, Clutch.
Like what?
Things that you've never told anyone else.
Like what? That my mom was nuts, she killed herself, and I'm the same fucking way?
And who all of you told that to?
Not a single damn soul.
But I still knew, child. I dig into the people who I associate with. You don't think I fucking knew? Darling, we've been friends for 30 fucking years. You didn't think I'd do a little fucking research? Listen, it doesn't matter. You're not your mother. You're not your brothers. You're not anyone but you. And you,
Schizophrenia doesn't
my
go-
darling, my darling friend, you're one of the best people I've ever met. But I need you to know that. I need you to be here. I need you to be you.
She doesn't say anything else. She just kind of like takes a breath, and she's like, she sees you, but she doesn't see you. Like, she hears you, but she doesn't hear you. She's still kind of pulled in the direction of, you know, this kind of sucks. I would like for this to just end.
Morgan is going to go over to her and pick her up onto his shoulder.
Does a man move me?
What is your relationship with your relationship score?
With Clutch?
Yeah.
It's a +1 or 2.
I have it as a 1 on mine.
Oh, okay, then it's a 1.
Go ahead and take an extra stability. That action actually brings you some small comfort. And then I'm assuming that is to put you all in forward motion as well.
Yes.
Towards the building.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excellent. I think this is a perfect time then to take a very short break. We won't waste a whole lot of time. We're going to go stand up and pee and wash our fucking hands. And
Wash your fucking hands.
Wash your hands.
yeah, and we will be right back as soon as I find the intermission button. There it is.
Here's a pooper.
Wait. Oh no.
Here's a
I found it. I just had to hit that button. Oh, sweet.
Who is he talking to right now? Is he talking to us?
All
Is he
right,
talking
I'm
to
talking to
himself?
himself.
Is he okay? There's
Don't
a
worry
lot.
about
He's
happening.
absolutely talking to himself.
Don't worry about it. We're back.
Ugh.
You guys, can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yes, always.
Yes.
Hello.
Ugh.
Hello, hello.
No, talk to the abyss for a minute.
Where we are right now, everybody is briefly motivated to head into the Monarch Apartments. Clutch was about to take a small detour to get a little closer to the party, see what was going on over with those guys. That looked kind of cool, what they were doing. She kind of wanted to join the song. She's been defending it the whole time. And Morgan smartly snatches her up like the big brother that he has always been in one way to her, and pulls her back to the crowd as you all, I assume, sort of take the big long way around the crowd towards the front doors of the Monarch apartment. Say something if I'm wrong. All right. Before we get into the Monarch apartment, I do want to throw out a bit of a trigger warning. There is some stuff in this material because, as you all know, we are actually in a cult scenario called The Summit. You can find it in Teroticum and other tales from their book that came out last year, I believe, or the year before. I'm not exactly sure. Anyways, before I start rambling about that, and there are 30 floors of horror. So as you can imagine, that is a upward vertical dungeon, if you will, with a gambit of terrifying things. And so there are lots of different things that different people find terrifying, and I will of course round off a few corners here or there, but I wanted to start this second half with a trigger warning to both those of you in the crowd and those of you in the game, just because we are proponents of player safety. I know it is a controversial thing. If you keep up with the cult fan group Twitter or Facebook group feed, we did that interview, you see. It turned into quite the hubbub. And which, by the way, was nominated for an ENnie, free role-playing game resources. So if you go to the ENnie page, you can vote for that. Kiana and her partner, who in that project, both great people. I've actually been watching her on streams for 2 years now, as I've been researching this stuff. So here I go, off on a tangent. Duke would be kicking me under the table. You start to make your way around this crowd. Clutch, you are comforted a little bit with Morgan having taken over and prevented you that, but you can hear somewhere in the back hollows of your head the faint voice of Stick calling you things like pussy. You can hear your mother every once in a while call out, "No, Clutch, don't, that's gonna kill me, that's gonna kill me." But they start to fade as you round the crowd. Occasionally, one of the members of the chanting throng will notice you all, and then usually go back to the chanting. "Here we are now, entertain us." Walking up the few steps to the entrance of the Monarch apartment complex, there's a big sort of foyer thing. You can see that the inside is pretty spacious. It's a big steel sort of modern type building, even with its sort of precarious leaning. And as the last of you step over the threshold into this pulsating edifice of a building, you catch movement out of the corner of your eyes. Morgan's gonna set Clutch down. The cultists out front beyond the doors are disrobing. The big mound of throbbing clay with its hundreds of mouths and phalluses and eyeballs rolls off into the streets of Novaville and disappears as dozens more cultists gather from outside, all converging on the party. None enter or pay any notice to you as they all gather in this giant courtyard. Instead, they aggressively handle one another and commence a brutal orgy, routinely swapping partners and breaking into fights until arousal sets in again and the doors close behind you. And you are now in the Monarch apartment complex. The high-rise stretches dizzyingly above you. You can see almost to the entire top. Despite years of decay, the spiral stair that leads to the top floor stands intact, and the lights above the lifts intermittently flicker to and from. This was written by a Brit, so if I use the word flat or lift, I assume you all know what those are. Standing, so you see the lights above the elevators sort of flicker, like they sort of come to life. It's sort of not. Are we losing Morgan? Morgan's like cracking up over there. Do you need to roll Keep It Together?
All right,
You have
we're
it,
just-
brutal orgy.
Brutal orgy. Just
Let me ask, because
all of us were like,
they did give this option. I am sort of taking away a little bit of your agency by brushing past this, but you all have this brief flash like, I wonder what that might be like as you go into the room. Do any of you want to go get a closer check out of that situation? I don't recommend
Nope.
it.
Ben might.
Enough of those types of things for one lifetime. She's out.
maybe 30 years ago.
I'm actually
Hard
glad,
pass for me.
Ben
Hard
might.
pass.
I'm actually glad that you said that, Ben, because with the voice that you heard, I forgot to make you do this before, but I want you to roll for your victim of passion disadvantage. Just a straight roll +0, unless you are hindered by stability.
I don't think so. Was that it? No. Okay, I got a 13.
The passion starts
Better
to
than a
awaken. Yeah. The passion starts to awaken within you. You think about Monet more and more, and I have a nice little hold to put in my pocket at some point as you watch the sex begin outside. But the doors close. You don't get to see the show. The high-rise stretches out above you. Standing this low down feels oppressive, claustrophobic almost. You are keenly aware of the sheer weight of concrete, glass, and metal above you, and how one seismic shift could result in your absolute destruction. They were common in this area. It becomes difficult to breathe. You force yourself to stare at the floor. Looking up in this place seems to contribute to the madness. I see Discord going off. You guys are about to drive me nuts. And I will make you pay. I will make you pay. Do you hear that, Twitch people out there in Twitch land who don't know what's going on behind the scenes? They're all on mute, laughing it up, having a good time. They'll pay. There is
Evie.
Liam. You notice it first. There's a floor plan ahead of you. It is inlaid in the actual marble of the floor, encircled by a series of ring-like symbols that you've never seen before. And you can tell that this was definitely a very once opulent building. It is bedecked, as you look at the floor plan, with nearly 1,000 apartments, leisure facilities, and an entire floor dedicated to a swimming pool, bank, shops, and hairdressers, even a driving range. If you lived somewhere like this, there would hardly be a reason to leave. A low thrum throughout the building breaks your wonderment, and all of you fall to your knees. The entire structure makes you want to throw up. And I need you all to give me another Keep It Together roll.
Yikes.
Better than a 9.
It is better than a
Ugh.
9.
Did I really just see that?
Yeah.
Why does my life fucking suck?
Wait, you don't teak. I'm not going to give you a stability measure on that, but Clutch, when she goes to her knees, she pukes. You don't even know where she even had that much in her. since you've been with her for this period of hours, but there is a lot of vomit everywhere. You can tell that the spiral staircase has some levels that are blocked, meaning that you can see that you can't get from the bottom to the top just by using the spiral staircase. There will be floors that would have to be navigated somehow, some other way, perhaps the elevator in its doesn't look like completely reliable shape. So off the bat, getting from bottom to top with the press of a button feels unlikely. There is not going to be a quick way to get what you need from the monarch. What do you do?
Is there anybody in here with us, or is it just us?
Roll, please, to observe a situation. Unless you would like to investigate, those are both going to give you a series of questions to choose from. So if you want to look at the questions first and then choose, I'll let you do that. You can zoom out on your Roll20 desktop to see all of the different moves and the red boxes. I'm starting to talking in my how to play KULT voice. Maybe I found my thing. That was the text I got from Dad when I told him the good news that I can't officially put out there. Just know, everybody, that there's good news on the horizon. So when I told that good news, Dad said, well, looks like maybe you found your thing, with a question mark. I said,
what a dad thing to say.
I hope so, Dad.
Jesus.
I'm only
Dad
48 fucking years old. Boy, I'm not like living in your basement. Christ.
Yeah, glad you found
Wow,
your thing.
for some
Finally,
reason, when you were referencing Dad, I thought you were talking about Duke.
Oh, no.
I was like, Duke said that?
I love him. He was being
I don't know why.
He was being very loving and supportive. That is a cut version of a much larger conversation. So I'm just doing it for laughs. So if they happen to watch this episode, and I think Mom has been watching a few now, I love you guys. I'm just teasing.
Why, she's gonna hear you say brutal orgy.
Yeah. How embarrassing.
Talk about all those fun
that
things.
isn't
I
embarrassing.
can't tell my parents to watch this.
They were warned. I warned them.
Disclaimer.
When it came out in 91, just after the Satanic Panic, everybody was all up about this game in Sweden. But we linger. Who was doing what? Because I got distracted. Somebody was rolling something,
That was me.
right? What were you rolling?
I rolled to observe a situation.
Oh, correct. Question.
And I got a 14.
Yeah.
So I get to ask you a question,
Yes, you do.
which is, what is being hidden from me?
Very keen. There is, because the first floor is actually the floor right above you. You are on the G floor. There are shadows off in the distance close to the wall, because this is one massive place that on some floor above you holds a driving range. Off in those shadows are hundreds of small cages. In many of them, there are people, and walking about them, somewhere far off, you can see what appears to be the shape of a man, only he seems to be garbed from head to toe in a yellow rubber bodysuit, like he was dealing with some toxic chemicals, and he walks along and pokes at the cages and teases the people inside of it. Nobody else sees this just yet. You notice it first. You've just now registered exactly what it is. So if you would like to tell the rest of them, you can say, I tell you what he just said. You don't have to.
No,
But
she, of course, just vomited all over the floor. So, I mean, she picks her head up and looks out and is pretty much at eye level with it. And she quickly stands up and, like, wipes her mouth and looks at Liam. And she's waiting kind of for him to notice the look on her face.
they can all pick that up pretty quickly. They're all watching Clutch. She just puked all over the floor. Morgan probably sees it first because he instantly, something in his subconscious picks that shape and those outlines of bars out of the darkness quicker than anybody, and it is exactly like the cage that you were in the Nova Mall, only there are literally hundreds of them. And Morgan, I need you to roll +0 for your repressed memories disadvantage.
I'm gonna roll a keep it together because it's +0.
That works.
13.
Seeing the cages, the memories partly resurface. For just a moment, you see yourself in one of those cages, gripping the bars. Your heart jumps because you panic. Because you woke up in a cage just like this before. It's not unreasonable to think that bad luck or some strange thing could make it happen again. And then you are back with your friends, not in the cage, but you were close to the man in yellow. He was indeed wrapped up in some sort of bodysuit, and his face looked as if he was maybe 80 years old, perhaps. It was wrinkled and distorted. You didn't get a real good picture at it. I need you to roll keep it together.
Okay. 15.
Separate. You're cool. You're cool.
All right. I swear to God, I'm going to kill the next person who tries to put me in a fucking cage.
We're not going to let that happen again.
Well, there's a bunch of them in here, and there's a bunch of people, and there's this one creepy dude. So we need to be on our toes.
Can we just get this over with and go home, please? I want to get the fuck out of here.
Liam pulls a handkerchief out of a pocket and hands it to Clutch.
She takes it, nods at you, and starts cleaning up her face.
Well, you can just keep that.
Yeah, I figured.
Right.
Benjamin, you notice the man in the yellow suit turns and starts walking towards your group.
I don't like that.
What do you do?
He just says, I don't like that.
I
She
didn't
says
say
that
Yeah, I was,
straight out loud. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Actually, out loud. I
That
don't
was-
like that.
that was exactly what I wanted. Oh, I love that. That's actually beautiful. I can just see that on camera. Ben goes, oh, I don't like that. Staring,
Genius.
staring off at this, and when you all look to see what Ben's talking about, you all too see, because that bright yellow suit sort of stands out in the darkness. It catches any light that is over there, and as it gets closer, it of course gets into the more light that you get from that comes in from the night sky from outside, and the occasional flash of lightning.
Liam,
And
get your gun.
Do I have my gun with me, by the way?
he just keeps walking your way. I believe that they grabbed as many guns as they could when they abandoned the car and went to Pam's. I
Yep.
believe that there was at least enough guns that each of you could have one if you wanted one.
Sweet.
I will just establish that as canon. So we'll say that there are 6 guns in the group. I don't know which are which. I would say a couple of pistols and a shotgun. I believe, Monet, when you guys left originally, you had an assault rifle. So there's at least one of those, maybe 2. So I'll just let you guys sort that out, and I would appreciate it
Morgan
if somebody
would want
would
the shotgun.
jot down what it is so we don't have to do this next time.
I was gonna say I jotted down what I grabbed in that episode, which was I had
Perfect.
my handgun, I always had a switchblade, and then I grabbed an assault rifle.
I've
Super.
got
I
this
shot Ben in the shoulder.
sexy ass toy dress, an assault rifle around strapped to my shoulder.
like
I got
60.
one of those. I'm still hot as hell.
Modesty woman.
I got like one of those like thigh holsters like under my dress that's got a pistol in it and like a
She's
little
not.
knife
She's
in my stiletto.
Also, late 50s,
yeah,
and she wears it well.
That's what I was
hate
gonna say.
real
Was
noise.
mid-50s at best, and she's been with Liam, who's like fucking loaded. So, and in LA, so she got the best of whatever best plastic surgery if she ever wanted it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she's.
I don't
never
look a day over
needed it.
28.
I'm sure she's in tip-top LA shape. I'll give her that. So everybody's strapped to the T's. I knew that some of you would have gotten guns. I knew that Benjamin would not have picked up a gun. I don't think Morgan actually. Well, I don't know. I don't think you took a gun into Red Light with you.
So I took the handgun that
But you
I
wouldn't
was
have had it
forced
when
to
you came back in the cage.
no, I figured not. I did have
Actually,
my knife
Chris.
on me.
I'll toss Morgan my assault rifle and pull my pistol out from my hip holster.
Right.
Or my
Well, if
thigh
there was a
holster.
shotgun, I'll take that.
Curtis,
we
I
had one.
actually did grab a gun
Did
because
you?
you wouldn't let me leave the car without one.
Okay. All right. So I figured
yeah.
that I had spread it out. So, okay. That's very good. So you can each have a gun of one choice or another, and then I'll even let you throw in 1 or 2 extras to pass around should the occasion arise. So let me lay out this building for you. It is literally a giant building with glass and steel walls, much like the modern buildings of New York and LA. There are concrete floors and ceilings. However, there is a circular cutout in the center of this building in which a spiral staircase goes from the bottom all the way to the top, and then there's a landing that leads out to the ring at each floor, so you can see from above. Now it's dark and you can't see all the way to the top from this vantage, but you can see that about the 4th floor that the stairway has broken apart or rusted and is impassable. The elevator is directly in front of you along a wall. It runs up. There's actually 2 of them that run up the side along the edge of the ring of this building that for some strange reason is cone-shaped, if you think about it. So that you know when you get to the top, it's going to be of smaller dimension than the actual bottom floor that you were on now, which is why things are so far out hidden in the distance. So you're all armed and packed. Everybody's ready to go. You are all a little bit on edge. Clutch is barely holding it together. Luckily, with her friendship and you guys, it's the only thing that has saved her from the end of madness. You all feel a little bit different than you did outside. The whoosh and the nausea represents more than just the horror of this place. You have transported yourselves into something that you don't fully understand at this particular point. However, you might get it when you get to the top. So, what do you do? Let me ask, unless you want to do something different, stairs or elevator?
What about the man
Right?
from
So,
Lover's
do we
Sake? What
trust
do
the fucking elevators here, or shall we climb the fucking stairs?
Fuck no. I don't trust technology at all.
Yeah,
here.
man, nah. We need
Okay,
to take the
okay.
stairs.
Okay,
After
outside
that
of-
Nova Mall bullshit?
Nah.
fuck.
Yeah.
So you want to climb
Your year is whack, man.
30 fucking stories? That's
No.
60 flights of fucking stairs at best.
I just got out of a cage. I could use some cardio.
These two fuckers are like 20.
20 fucking years old.
Okay, I see your point.
I'm
Monet?
sure Benji would like to carry me.
Right, who's gonna fucking carry me then?
And me.
So are we taking the elevator?
You hear this?
No, I can.
You hear this voice, heavy breathing through a respirator, say something. The man in the rubber suit is about 20 feet away at this point, and he says,
Oh, Christ!
"Y'all want to get in a cage?"
Fuck no. And I pull out my gun and I start shooting.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, we're not going to talk to him or have a.
He said, do you want to be in a cage?
Okay. Okay.
Well, if Morgan's shooting, I'm gonna step
He
right
said
up next
something
to
about
him.
being in a cage. Morgan
That
is
was all it
not
took.
fucking
And also
around.
going to shoot.
Okay.
Morgan
I mean,
is
that's your.
not-
No.
Morgan
Fucking
is
around.
not.
No.
He did not receive an accurate trigger warning.
What are you shooting with, Morgan?
The shotgun.
Excellent.
If we have one, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
let me. I'm gonna find it.
4
here.
rounds.
Combat shotgun. You can do. Let's see. Oh, it's got 2 different attacks: snapshots for 1 damage, or pellet storm for 2. Let's see. Base harm is 3. Okay, so those are. We'll just go with the 3. Make a roll with violence.
Okay.
I'll have to figure out why someone would want to do the
19.
snapshots. Oh, I guess because you don't use as much ammo. A 19. And exactly where are you aiming to... where were you aiming at when you blasted this guy in the yellow suit? Hey, here, let me do... I'm gonna rip off Matt Mercer. How do you want to do this?
So, do I get 3 shots or just...
You can do 1 for 3, or you can do 3 shots for 1. It's up to you.
I'll do 3 shots for 1, 2 in the chest, 1 in the head.
He's still walking towards you when the first 2 shots hit. It's the third one that actually makes him drop to his knees, and you can see now his face sort of looks like it's kind of melted a little bit rather than old, and he's just got this look in these sort of almost oversized bloodshot eyes, as like it's confused, like, why did you just kill me? And then it falls over onto its face. You can hear a chorus of moans, a few yells and cries come out from the cages off in the darkness. Some of them rattle a little bit.
We should go. We should
That was
settle
quite a bit hasty.
somewhere. We should not.
You
stay
wanted to
here.
put us in cages.
Should
I
we-
literally had said right before
We
the
know
next person to put me in a cage was going to get dropped.
It's
Fuck
not
you,
like
came
we
along.
were
We're gonna fucking let him put us in fucking cages.
Well, I ain't taking a chance. I've been
All right,
separated from y'all before.
Kids,
We need to help
focus
these
on the
people.
decision.
Benji.
right? We need to. They're all.
Unless they're absolutely crazy like the other people and they come out and try to kill us.
Well,
They-
hey, literally every other fucking person we've run into in this awful fucking island is fucking batshit crazy. I'm not gonna fucking touch them.
Their cries start getting louder and louder as if they were like riotous test monkeys in cages, shrieking. You can hear them, some of them banging their heads against the cages. You can't see them all, but you know what that sort of sound is like, especially when it gets that wet, crunchy sound at the end.
But you know what, Benji? Go right the fuck ahead.
No, Ben, Clutch like tries to get you to focus on her. I'm crazy, and I know this kind of crazy, and this is not the kind of crazy you want to fuck with. Okay, maybe after we get done with this whole thing, maybe we can come back and help them. But I think for now they should stay in the cage.
Man, there's not gonna be an after. And then he kind of like mumbles and just walks away.
Well, that's just downright pessimistic.
Which are you heading towards, the elevator or the stairs, Benjamin?
Still head to the stairs. I don't trust technology.
Do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Morgan's okay with it. I don't know how these oldies are feeling.
Clutch is literally just mumbling, "Stupid fucking kids! I can't. God damn it! This is so stupid." She's like falling behind.
Aren't you younger than me?
Not right now.
Not anymore.
Oh, true. Wow.
Not right now.
At each floor, via the stairs, you imagine the spiral staircase going up. There's a landing so often, and there's a walkway. There's actually two walkways, one going north, one going south, that extend across the short opening, the hollow that extends to the top of the building and takes you to then the landing that it doesn't encircle the entire floor. There's just a small landing that goes to one door that then opens you up into that particular level. So you have the option of going either the north way or the south way at any given landing on the stairs, just so we're clear on that particular technical aspect. And you notice that when you get to the first floor on the steps. And you can hear those cultists in cages continue to shake and get riled up. Do you stop at the first floor, or are you going to go on to the second? Or do you want to do something else while you're here? If you have the option to investigate, you are, after all, searching for clues to various things that you've learned along the way here. So I'm just stopping at each floor and giving you the option to do what you will.
Clutch is already headed for the next set. She wants this shit over with and done. She's out.
I feel like my focus personally is the house.
Is the what?
The penthouse.
Oh, the penthouse. All right, so you maximum levels.
So I'm not really concerned with the other floors.
Yeah. Passing the second floor, Benjamin, you notice an alluring smell coming from one of the doors. Could be coming from both doors. You're interested. You want to go check out one of the doors. This is me using a hold. And you approach one of the doors.
What's it smell like?
What's it smell like?
Curtis was like, damn it, they just want to go straight to the top. We can't have that.
He's got like a list of holds now.
I know, he's got a whole list of floors that we're trying to pass.
And Liam is just like, normal fucking buildings have just straight fucking stairs that just go up, and then you take a U-turn and it goes up again. Why the fuck do we have to go up a goddamn spiral fucking staircase?
Oh my god, perfect.
I love it. Benjamin, what is the smell, you ask?
Waffles.
As you get closer to the door, and you guys are ready to go. Monet, you're already like halfway up the way to 3, and you see Benjamin walking over towards the north door. Benjamin, the smell is a combination of sex and Monet, and I need you to roll for your disadvantage again as you consider.
Not like sex and candy.
What a dank smell.
It's my sweaty perfume.
God damn.
She probably has a very distinct perfume.
Probably.
It was just plus 0,
We
so
had-
16.
Somebody
good.
specially design it for you with our vast wealth.
Yeah.
God.
You have an urge. You want to go in and see. You think there could possibly be a pretty good time for you on the other side of this door, but the rest of the group seems pretty eager to get upstairs. And you can feel them tapping toes and burning you with eyes in the back of your head, and maybe this isn't the right time and place for whatever's in there, but wouldn't it be fun to find out? And
You know, maybe just like a little quick peek. Maybe,
Shut the fuck up, Benji. Come on.
but don't you guys smell that?
No, all I smell is
Certainly don't.
vomit, fear, and fucking pot. Can we go?
I smell
That's
gunpowder.
just you, my dear.
what do you do?
So,
Pretty good there, Benji. You look like you're having a wee bit of a moment. I really don't think it's an appropriate time.
Ben, please. Like, Clutch just sounds so tired. She's like, can we please go?
Listen, we're in a very dangerous place. If you feel like peeling off on your own fucking adventure, go right the fuck for it. But it's probably a bit more intelligent to fucking come along with us.
fine. God.
My
You
guess
guys
is
never
it's
do
either-
what I want to do.
My guess is it's either orgies or it's some other form of death torture or crazy people.
Well,
Nina.
those orgies were a bit brutal.
You don't know that
That's okay.
Benjamin smells the sex part.
No, she's just guessing because we saw the orgy outside. That was great and fun. We've seen people in cages. We've seen crazy people. Can we move on?
You don't know.
You don't
torn,
know that I
Benjamin.
smell the sex.
Do you want to take a peek, or do you want to go up with your friends?
I feel like if I take a peek, I'm going to be locked there.
That's always a possibility in cult.
Oh, God. I want to so bad. No, I'm gonna be good. My friends need me, even though they hate me. Let's go.
Oh no, we don't need you, Ben.
Very
I'm
good.
so proud of you.
You get
Liam
a
does,
few
just a
steps
little
away after you've committed your mind and your heart to continuing with your friends, and you faintly hear the sound of a moan of Monet. Sounded like she was having a good time. Up to the 3rd floor. There are windows on the doors of the 3rd floor that lead into the outer circle, only you can't see them because they have this very cool frosted glass effect. And so that you can't actually see through the windows, especially at this distance. You might be able to if you got up and put your hand around them. You could possibly get some shapes or outlines perhaps. But it is a slightly different door, a little bit fancier even. And with a window, a small window, sort of a very large peephole window. I just had to, right?
He's a people.
I think he wants us
Very
to peek
large
through it.
people.
The 4th floor is the last floor before the stairway is blocked. You can see how there are several steps that have broken out of the railing. The actual one side of the railing has seemingly rusted through. Impossible to pass unless you were equipped with rope and some other hardware and were skilled at something like that. You would be taking a huge risk to try to get across that way. So you'll have to get off on the 4th floor and find your way in and to the elevator. Or you could check out the 3rd door. The 3rd floor, that's where you're at now. So do you want to stop at the 3 or you want to go back up to 4? Or back down to one of the other 2 and try to find the elevator that way.
Well, this sucks. Clutch is
there-
like picking at her fingernails.
Is there anything that we can hear behind door number 3?
Make me an investigation roll, Ben, if you'd like.
You know, I'm going to make a better one. 1 second. I'm going to use...
I like that.
Wait for it.
Ugh.
Enhanced awareness.
God, the chat really wants us to go to the Monet floor.
I know.
No.
They're asking for it.
Really want.
You pervs.
You're nasty.
Enhanced awareness. I can focus my senses on the illusion, and if I have success, I will have visions about the place.
Roll plus soul.
Can I use that?
Yeah.
Can I do that? Okay.
And this is, you're focusing on the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Is that
What's
what you're
going
trying
on
to
the 3rd floor? Yeah, what's behind this door?
When you use your enhanced awareness, even at the distance from where you are at the stairs to where the actual door is, you realize that frosted glass is not an effect. That is actual frost. When you get closer to the door, it gives off cold, as if beyond it could be very cold conditions indeed. Your enhanced awareness, you can kind of feel a little bit of a hum happening beyond the doors, perhaps from the mechanisms that cool that particular floor. You don't know exactly what they're trying to keep cold on the 3rd floor, but they are trying to keep something very, very cold on this floor.
Probably where they keep the bodies.
Well, then let's not go in floor number 3.
Well, that was a comforting thought. Thanks, Morgan.
I mean, cold
That's-
stops the decomposition process.
That's
It slows it.
terrifying,
Slows
dude.
it. Yeah, I'm pretty fucked
just-
up.
Sorry, what did I miss?
That's all right.
Morbid reality.
Yeah, 3rd floor is very, very cold.
I just started dying a little bit. It's cold.
That's all right. We're almost to
Cold.
the end
It's
here.
got frost. It's frozen.
Yes.
Elsa's going ham in there.
Maybe the next stairwell's across the way on the 4th floor.
Maybe it'll be a warm floor.
Could be. There is a window on the 4th floor. You can kind of get a glimpse of it from where you're at on the spiral staircase. It does not look frosted over. You could at least
Wanna
get to peer in and see what's beyond.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is no one else a little curious as to why it's cold in that room?
Nope.
About
As soon as he
curious
said
what's going on
bodies-
in floor number 2.
Yeah, floor number 2 was very curious. I really think we should go back to there.
I didn't say bodies. You all, or one of you,
Morgan said bodies.
Morgan said bodies. I'm not into that.
All right.
I don't want to be around bodies.
But floor number 2 bodies. Maybe.
Monet, I want you to
Oh,
roll
yeah.
All in
your
favor.
obsession disadvantage for me, please.
Awesome.
Just to help move things along, I will bring you something terrible.
Sorry, I gotta get.
You're all right. You take your time. I can see it in your eyes. It, smacked you.
Yeah. +0. I can see it in your eyes. 12.
A 12. That's not too bad. I get one more nice little hold. This is kind of getting irritating to you. You really, really, really need to get to the bottom of this pendant deal and find out what that bullshit is all about and get Liam fixed with his leg. And you need to say something to these guys who seem to not be able to decide what it is they're going to do.
You're a bunch of stupid fucks. We're gonna go back to the 1st floor. We're gonna go on the elevator. We're gonna get it to the top and get this over with.
Christ, that's what I said from the very fucking beginning. These fucking children started crying the goddamn... Fine, let's go.
Okay, but if anything bad happens in the elevator,
We
I'm
warned
gonna give you a
you.
big fucking fat I told you so.
Yeah,
what
you're
else
gonna
are
get
you wanted to
all
do? Are you
the
wanted to
I
cross
told
all
you
these
so's.
strange floors and try to risk what they have? Why don't you? No, I don't think so. I'm slipping into like Canadian here
Oh
or
jeez.
something.
Oh
Oh,
jeez.
jeez.
We're
Jeez,
getting
you
real
don't know.
far
Maple
north.
syrupy.
Oh jeez, we're getting real far north right now.
Wow.
will
Please go
everybody-
north.
Will everybody follow the irate Monet down to the first floor so that you can get this done before she absolutely loses it? Let's
Yes, but
say
Ben will pause again at the second door.
Okay.
Benji, what's
Clutch
really
just grabs him and starts walking with him, like dragging him.
Before you actually depart where you're at there on the third and make your way down, Liam, you just happen to be looking up at the window from the fourth floor. You can kind of see it from the spiral staircase and your vantage point, and there is a face that was looking at you, and you just catch it disappearing as you all head back down to the first floor, stopping briefly at the second floor as Benjamin has to go get another smell. Is that what you're doing, Benjamin? Or are you going to go listen again? Or are you just
big old whiff.
glancing fondly? Oh yeah.
I mean,
That smell.
if I
He just
can,
goes up to the door and he's like,
yeah, if I can
just
get as
comes by,
close to
grabs
the
his
door
arm,
as
and pulls.
possible,
Bust through
and
that
if I
door.
hear anything,
You
That'd be
hear Monet inside if you listen. If you put your ear
Wow.
to the door. I will make you roll it a second time. I've made you roll it twice already tonight. You want to go in, but I'm not going to let you now. You can always come back. You never know what's
We'll
going
get
to
there
happen in the
eventually.
Monarch. Down to the first floor. You pass through the cages. They're pretty riled up. Are you going back down to the ground floor and in, or the
just
first
to the
level?
elevator.
Wherever we can get in the elevator.
Yeah.
Back down to the ground level to the elevator. When you get in the elevator, the lights on the buttons, there are 30 and the G. There is a basement, so I guess there's 31 actually. The penthouse is on the roof. It is a rooftop penthouse with an exterior garden that actually takes up the top part of the roof. You cut that off of the diagram on the floor. The lights on all of the buttons flicker in and out randomly in no particular pattern.
Oh, that's a great fucking sign.
So who's going to push the button?
Oh, Clutch is
I will.
Nope.
Like her and Monet are both
Good.
fighting to get to that damn thing to hit it.
Nope.
The first push of the elevator button. Please roll for me a 2d10 and give me the total result.
oh God. I feel like it is me.
It's totally you, girl. You got this.
How
we
do
don't
I
want
do
my
this?
bad juju all over that.
Yeah, anything.
Well-
Or just, you can hit that little hotkey down in the bottom left. A 12. When Monet pushes, which button do you push? I assume you push 30.
Yeah.
You want to go straight to the top, right?
I usher them all in. Got my assault rifle on my shoulder. I kind of position it and slam the 30 button.
Ben's gonna do the thing like they do an elf where he's just like, oh, it's like a Christmas tree.
No, you're not gonna touch all the buttons. I will not let you. I will not let
Liam will
you.
absolutely
I want to
punch
do
you in
that
the face
so
if
bad.
you start to do that.
Morgan's
want
gonna
to
laugh
do
so
that.
fucking hard.
So bad. Can I make a roll? Can I do
I will
that,
elbow
Curtis?
you in the fucking face.
Ben's really trying to get the shit kicked out of him.
Like serious, straight, fucking just.
What are you wanting to roll for again?
I
This is
just
such a
really want to
Christmas
press
tree.
all the buttons. I'm high. I can get away with it.
Would anybody step in the way if you saw Benjamin?
I already said I
Okay.
would punch him right in his stupid fucking
Yeah.
face.
Monet
Benjamin,
and Liam.
You're
He did at
stoned
least
and you
fight.
want to. Liam doesn't. I'm not gonna say he punches you in the face, but he like just shoves you away, and you kind of knock up against the wall. Monet, when Benjamin hits the wall, that's at the moment that the elevator doors are closing, and they stop at halfway, like they're not going to close all the way, and the elevator starts to shake. And you can hear this high, screeched, whiny sound. And then all of a sudden, the elevator doors, the last halfway, slam shut. And all of the lights on all of the buttons light up. And then they start randomly flashing in unison, starting to the 30, going down to 1, 30, down to 1, 30, down to 1, and the elevator lurches as if it suddenly starts shooting to the top, and it stops, and all of you are lifted up off the floor for a moment, and then the elevator goes the other direction, and you all slam to the bottom and fall. You can't keep your footing. Liam, your leg hurts because of it. The elevator continues to do this to you once, twice, moving you up, down in different distances at terrible speeds. And you can hear every time it stops for a few moments, you can hear the whining and grinding
Tower of Terror.
sound of the cables in the elevator, and then it finally stops, and the button on floor 12 lights up. The elevator doors open. There is not the spiral staircase or the ring shape that you had once seen before. This level appears to be rectangular with very narrow corridors. They are not well lit. There is an emergency light down about 50 yards down the hallway. You can see a T-junction in the middle. The carpet or the floor seems black.
Morgan goes and kicks Liam in the dick.
It's
Hell
well.
yeah.
Want
as
to
soon
talk
as
about
the
elevators
elevator-
now, asshole?
As soon as the elevator stops, I'm like, oh god, and I like lurch forward out of it and like fall to the ground and crawl.
Just outside the elevator, on the wall to the right, Monet, you see a wooden plaque. On that plaque is a mounted hook, sort of crude and rusty. The plaque is rather nice, lacquered wood with a brass plate on it that reads with a little arrow pointing elevators this direction, down the hall to the right. And there are words that says, if you would like to take your group through unharmed, please place a section of intestine on this hook. Benjamin stumbles back and leans against the wall as the elevator doors close. Benjamin, I want you to roll Endure Injury.
Yeah, I figured I hit my head pretty bad.
Did Morgan actually? He actually
Oh,
kicked Liam in
God.
the dick.
You bet your ass.
Mac.
Oh,
It is
no.
precisely a 9.
From all
take
of
the
that,
elevator, huh?
you're going to take a half damage from the kick to the dick, and you're going to take a half damage as you use the wall to brace yourself so that you don't fall and hit the floor. And when you touch the wall, you slice your hand open as you realize the wall is covered just barely sticking out from the wall a 16th of an inch, all over are small razor blades.
Oh shit.
The walls move and get a little bit closer, and the building shakes. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Oh God.
We're not in LA anymore, kids.
Who's intestine? Everybody looks at Ben.
Literally. And Ben's just over there looking at his hand, and like Lenny's on his shoulder, also looking at his hand.
Oh, Lenny has intestines.
I will fucking kill you guys.
Oh.
Not touch my ferret.
Oh. Awesome. Oh.
You can live without a certain
so sick.
segment of your intestines. It's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a huge segment. Thank you, players, for playing with me tonight and enjoying this wonderful horror that is the summit and the long strange trip. Thank all of you out there in Twitch who watched tonight. Thank all of you in YouTube land. If you're catching this on video, please give all of these talented players a follow on their socials. Speaking of following them on their socials, how can they do that? So let's go around the table and let's start with Clutch. Give us a little bit of how do you feel? You can vent off the horror of the night if you'd like for a moment, and then tell the fans about where they need to talk to you at so that they can talk more cult.
I was gonna comment like a really funny Willy Wonka. Like that was a horrible glass elevator ride. And I'm like, maybe not. Because then, you know, Austin came out of nowhere with a kick in the nuts. I don't know. I'm overwhelmed.
The dick.
Right.
Specifically, the shift.
Ooh. After you got out of an elevator shaft.
Bad.
Yes, and now you've realized that the building can change on you, which just adds a whole nother layer of fun to this little cake of goo and gore.
I don't know. I'm just really overwhelmed. I just feel overwhelmed.
Awesome.
And I don't have much else about it. It's just, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
I'm still processing.
Good.
Ask me again tomorrow.
I want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to be scared. I said I'm going to scare them until they just can't stand it. I'm going to make somebody pee their pants before I'm done. That's my goal. Yeah. So be ready.
How I feel about that one. All right.
Yeah. They can chat with you about it over on Discord, though, right?
Yeah, they can, because I am the social director here at TTRP Theater. You can find me and all these lovely faces you see there on the screen, and even some of those that you see over there in the chat on our Discord. Join our Discord, and we can chit-chat at any hour of the day. You can also follow me on the Twitters and the Instagrams and most of the social medias at EricaNmore97. Sometimes I post things. Sometimes I'm silent for weeks.
That's the way it is this day in history. Thank you so much for coming and playing tonight. I'm sorry that I overwhelmed you, but I would like to say that I didn't mean to, but I did. So it just makes me happy to hear that this is giving you mental torture. However, I will tell you wonderful things off cam, so it's all good. Let's go to Morgan. Thanks for joining us, Morgan. I tried to put you through a little extra more mental torture tonight as well.
Thanks for having me as always. It's always a blast. And it's just nice, you know, shooting the shit with y'all. You can find me on the social medias at Austin Van B, and if for some reason you're on Twitter, Austin Van B1. Hopefully you'll be seeing some of my new material coming out the next year.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open and join the Discord.
Either way, we know what you mean. Yes, I have recruited Mr. Van Beesler here to start working on a couple little things. None the least of which is a special project that is for patrons only. Something new and original that we think that they will love, and yeah, I think we've got a pretty good plan ahead of that. So keep an eye out. More will be revealed. I'm actually going to be doing, I'll put this in my announcements at the end, but we're going to be doing a little patron announcement this next Friday, 1 week from today. I told you all I've been working on it. So I won't keep her waiting any longer. Poor Monet, she's not feeling well tonight. I'm so thankful that you decided to come out and play. It would not have been the same had they had to drag you through this, which is what would have happened. Some other terrible seizure would have overcome you, and they would have had to have dragged you into the Monarch. But luckily you were here, so you can take as much time or as little time as you need after you get done coughing to tell the fans all about you. Or don't. You can just say, fuck off, guys, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to miss out. I hate missing. Even if I'm doing something fun and missing, I always feel bad for missing. Yeah, this is great. We're getting into some good shit. I really like it. I have fun every Friday. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jahoy_meaty. Wash your fucking hands and join the Discord. That's all I got right now.
You could get sick. For the record, it's not COVID. It's
I tested negative.
It's something
It's
that she
like
picked up in Sweden.
Yeah.
when she went to go record her ghost voices. If you haven't heard Jaylee's ghost voices, it's on the Experiment, the KULT Divinity Lost podcast episode that came out today. You'll hear a ghost voice. Jaylee did the voice work for that particular ghost voice.
My neighbors probably thought something was wrong with me.
It was great. So go check that out. It's very dramatic. And Peter did effects to it as well. So it's even spookier than you think. It's just a good episode. I'll say more about that in a minute. Let's get Benjamin, our in-house stoner, who is drifting off screen. How's that episode been? Are you ready for the horrors that are ahead? You just cut your hand on this hall of razors.
Yeah.
Are you going to offer up Lenny's
This
guts?
is going to be great. No, absolutely not. If you want to make Ben violent, that's how you make Ben violent. And he does not turn to violence easily. So you know that's crossing a line.
Right.
Yeah. He will literally offer up his own appendix before he hurts Lenny.
Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Yikes. Anyway, you can find me on Instagram at Crease the Barista. You can also find me on the Twitter at Creasta, but I don't know why you would want to. Yeah, I'm excited for next Friday. Also, Jaylee, we need to record some more Dungeon World.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
It's happening.
Yep, that's all I got.
I need to get a hold of Rashid. He's have a busy life.
There's been movement.
He's great.
I foresee an episode in the not too distant future, and it's so good enough that it's worth waiting for. And I'll wait another 2 months in between. Notice I put 2 on that one for the next one.
Deadline.
Anyways, thank you, Ben. Yeah, you did pretty good. Liam, the leg didn't come into play too much for you tonight. Thank goodness it seems to be healed. How are you, sir? Well, not healed. It seems to be fine for the moment.
I mean, at some point, I still feel like hashtag eat Liam's leg is gonna come back into play. So
you don't think that's dead, huh?
I don't think hashtag eat Liam's leg is gonna go away. I really don't, actually. Hashtag don't fuck with the ferret. Absolutely. Though,
right.
Even Liam is. I mean, it's just a yellow ferret. You know?
I like hashtag give Lenny a gun.
Hashtag give Lenny a gun. Yeah. You can find those hashtags and many more on our Twitter, on the Discord as well, and right here every single Friday. It's the best. I love it. I love this game. so glad to be able to play it every single week with all you wonderful people. You can follow me on Twitter at Chris Stone Cipher. It's just my name. You can follow my cat Mew Jackman on Instagram at the greatest Meowman. His sister Margaret Catwood made an appearance a week or two ago. She's just a delightful little greedy chunk. And Mew is the sweetest boy in the world. So, you know. There's a Steve.
I love it.
In Krista's window right now.
Nice. I love it when Steve comes to visit. Our newest cat that we got just within the last year, that little gray kitten that you guys saw at one point in time. I haven't got it on stream too much because and I'm not a cat guy. The cats have always been their cats, right? This particular cat loves me. And when I say loves me, like when I pick it up, it melts in my arms and like tries to nuzzle its head against me all the time, like in my arms, and will just like immediately want to take a nap. It never fusses with me at all. I've never had an attachment with a cat like this, so I need to. We call it Stella. I need to come up with like some cool social media to join with Stella the cat.
So cute,
Stella.
Mulin Brando.
Anyways, yeah. Outstanding. Thank you again, players. The horrors have really just started. You've just gotten, let's say, a whiff of things to come. I love it.
Why didn't Austin take off his shirt? Rip it off.
Yes, Steve. Take off the shirt if you
You're
need
still
to.
on mic.
I'm serious.
Let's see. What do I have to say? I got a couple notes. I don't really have a canned speech for this one. Thank everybody for coming to watch. Thank Helmgast. I would like to say our new friends over at Helmgast. We have gotten a very nice relationship with them thanks to the interview series and stuff, working with Mitchell. So look for more announcements in that regard as we get some things nailed down. We just love that game, as everybody has said. We love it. They just finished their Kickstarter, blah, blah, blah. This is old information. So you're going to see some new books and stuff coming from them pretty soon. Thanks to Roll20 for being our virtual tabletop and giving these guys the roles, good and bad. It worked out great for me tonight. I had lots of things to pull from. Thank you to my fantastic team of talented people who helped me put all of this together. I couldn't do any of it without you. Please go to our YouTube page and get a free subscription. Click the little bell. Check out the new How to Play KULT series. It's very basic start, but it's a planned series. It's going to go all the way through the book and get into more advanced stuff, and even into start discussing some of the published scenarios as well. So keep an eye out for that. They pop about every 2 weeks is the schedule. I think we're going to put them on because we want those are a lot of work goes into those, and it's not good to rush them. So go to our YouTube page, click the little bell so that you get a little alert when that stuff pops. Go check out ttrptheater.com for everything about us. You can see a little bio and a picture of all of these wonderful people that are in our cast. And let's see, the experiment dropped today. Renaissance City is dropping in podcast form, all the back issues every week until those catch up. So you can catch all those. They have actually done very well as a podcast. Land of Dark Dreams may or may not be back on Wednesday. Depends on how Beth's feeling after her surgery. And we will be back again next Friday to find out what happens on floor 12 of the long strange trip. So yeah, check it all out. I think that's all I got. So be kind to each other. What? I'm kidding there. Don't rush me. You know, I have a long way to go. Be kind to each other, and with a metaphoric bow. That's how I say it now. See, that's my new lead-in. We say good night, sweet dreams, and we love you. Roll credits.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Sweet
Love
dreams.
you.
And
We love you.
Wash your fucking hands.
And wear a mask, please.
Yeah, put your
wash them
mask
hands,
on.
you bitch.
And
Seems
don't
like there
forget
was
the
something
Black
else I
Lives
wanted to say,
Matter.
yeah. They do.
Maybe
Yep.
take a shower.
And
Always
social
forever.
distance.
Social distance and shower.
Wear
Masks are
your
so
friggin'
bad.
masks.
Wear your mask.
Deodorant.
Don't do drugs.
Possibly some deodorant would be
Maybe
nice.
do
Hard
some
drugs.
drugs.
Don't. Yeah, like
Drugs?
stay away from meth.
Some drugs
usually.
are fine.
Remember
Yeah.
that anything can be a
That as a company.
peephole. You try hard
Anything
enough.
can be a peephole if you try hard enough.
That is